In today's video, I'm going to show you one of the most awesome guitars I've ever played in my entire life. And by the way, it's right here. Alrighty, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this video today. This guitar is unlike any that I've ever seen. It's a nylon string crossover model built by a master classical guitar luthier based in Austria named Daniel Zucali. And this is just a fabulous guitar to play. It's amazing. Now, before I get into all the knickknacks and electronics and measurements, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. By subscribing, you really help me and the channel very much, and you will be notified of future videos as they come. Lessons, performances, and reviews, kind of like this one. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I sort of came upon this guitar sort of by accident. I had been playing at a festival called the Haresbrook Festival. Just so you know, not H-A-I-R. In fact, I wouldn't be invited to such a festival, but Haresbrook, spelled with an E, H-E-R-S-B-R-U-C-K. And that's in Germany, near Nuremberg. And they have primarily classical guitarists there. And then they get guys like me who can do some jazz and funk and craziness for comic relief. 1, 2, 3, 4, hit it! Daniel was there in the Luthiers exhibition with several of his guitars, and I was really drawn towards this guitar because as a steel string guy who plays plugged in primarily, a typical classical guitar, nylon string, isn't the friendliest thing to play at first. It takes a lot of getting used to. But here was this guitar, a crossover with a pickup system and low action, certainly friendlier for a guy like me who usually plays a Maton guitar. This was certainly friendlier for me to play, so I got to playing it. And it turns out that I didn't know this, but Daniel and I are neighbors, practically. We live less than half an hour away from each other. So he has invited me to be a foster parent for this guitar. I don't own this, but I've been playing it for several months here at home, and it's given me a lot of inspiration because, you know, just a different sound. Instead of the steel string, get into some nylon. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the specs of the guitar. I've got to read these because I don't have these memorized, but maybe I'll flash them on the screen for you. The model of the guitar, he calls this Elia. The soundboard is made of spruce. The back and sides are Indian rosewood. It's a matte finish, meaning not glossy. The tuners are by a company called Alessi, and this was built in 2017. This pickup system is very interesting. There are two outputs here, but one of these is stereo. So this is 2, and it goes to 3 over there in the H6. I'm just plugged into an H6. And I'll sort of do some demoing of that for you as well. There's a mic in here called a Mini Flex. And in this guitar, it's a Mini Flex 1. That means it does not need phantom power, because that's the last thing I feel like dealing with is putting phantom power into a guitar. And then there's a second pickup system, the Shadow SH4020. And I believe it's the shadow. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. I'll try to flash that on the screen a little closer for you. There are 6 little piezos, pepperoni piezos, and you can set the volume for each string here. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'll be posting subscriber-only content here, such as reviews. I'll let you take a look behind the scenes at what I do. I'll tell you all about my gear. You'll get brand new guitar lessons and good old guitar videos. I don't want you to miss out on the freebies and goodies either that I will be sending to subscribers only. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that YouTube notifies you when I post something new. Sometimes if the piezas aren't right, you feel that the balance is off. So you can set that here. And then there's a pan here where the 3 trebles are one of the signals coming out of here and the 3 basses are another signal, so that I can kind of lean more towards the treble or more towards the bass in a very organic sounding way. You probably can't see it on this, but Daniel Zucali has built a really neat trap door on the bottom of the guitar so that you can easily get to all the electronics inside. So just check out the pictures I'm putting on the screen. Now, this is really nice, and I think a few builders are starting to do this. My Maton guitar, for example, the only way in is either through the sound hole or by snaking a cable up into the pickup jack. And when guys have to retighten that 1/4-inch jack, it can be problematic if their arms are kind of big. That, on many guitars, is a problem. So Daniel has figured that out on this guitar with the compartment door. So it's very easy to deal with electronics and the microphone, no matter who's doing your repair. There's a very comfortable arm bevel here. It's not a sharp corner. It's nice and round. I'm going to read off some of what I find are pros and what I find are cons, and then I want to give you some playing examples as well. Sorry I keep bending down, but I go the old-fashioned way with paper. It's an amazingly hand-built, beautiful guitar. It just feels great in the hand. You know you're playing a quality instrument with this. Okay, so it's got a cutaway, as you can see, which if you want to play a jazz guitar solo or any kind of solo for that matter, it's easy to get up past the 12th fret. So I really, really like that. Here's who I think this guitar is really good for. If you're a Chet Atkins kind of player, and if you have fingernails, then nylon strings are awesome. And of course, if you're a classical player looking to get into some more experimental or amplified situation, this would be awesome for you. Now, I'm a no fingernail, no pick at all player temporarily, or at least at this point in my life. And I've figured out how to get sort of a sound out of the nylon. It's not real. Okay, so that's not real thumb picking because it doesn't have a thumb pick, but that gives you an idea of what that might sound like. What I really like this for is when I do my duo videos, that I have a sound that contrasts to the steel string. I find that a straight up steel string guitar gets a little bit too thin when I'm trying to do jazz solos. So I really like the nylon string guitar for that. So that it stays nice and fat up in the trebles. I like that. The other thing that I also really like about a nylon guitar in general, and particularly this one, is when I do the bass lines, I can get a little bit more nasal mid-range than what I can get on a steel string. I find that on a steel string, it's either just the flesh, which can sound really like very wide, or a thumb pick, which sounds much too pointed. So for example, when I do Misty with a walking bass line, you hear that kind of growl in the bass. I really, really like that. I'm going to play you the opening of Mas Que Nada. And I'm going to do a few different audio mixes and play it with the same video, or do something so that you can hear the various pickup configurations. So here we go. Let's listen to a little Mas Que Nada with a few different pickup settings. 1, 2, 1, 2. Alrighty, so that was me just sort of tearing into Mas Que Nada. The feeling of the slap sound, for example, on Superstition. I mean, it's funny, I'm kind of hearing it now, but it doesn't give me quite the metallic snap that I'm used to from steel string guitar. I find that it's just a little too mellow, but that could also be a question of just living with the guitar long enough. Regarding body percussion, I have not done a full survey of percussion on this guitar because I don't own the guitar officially and I don't want to beat it up too badly. But it does sound pretty good from what I've checked out. I did a concert with a guy named Kosho who has this same model guitar, maybe with a slightly different microphone, but it's exactly the same guitar. You can see him on the Zucali guitar website. His percussion sounded great. He's more of a fingernail player than I am. You'll have to contact Daniel if you want a guitar like this. One thing he told me is, he said, I put so much love and care into the guitar, which I can believe. He said, you can't really ever pay me for all the work that I do, because he makes sure that it's perfect. There you go. That's the Zucali crossover guitar. Check out the description below for his website. I believe it's guitars.zucali.com. So that's the English version of the site. So instead of the www, I think it's guitars.zucali.com. Let's see if I remembered that right. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free to leave a comment below. And I very much look forward to seeing you, hearing you play, and hearing from you in the comments below. Reach out to me anytime. God bless.